Hello everyone! Today I'll be presenting to you my final year project, Personality Recognition from Text based on the MBTI model. Here are the pointers that I'll be going through today. Firstly, personality is the individual differences in patterns of thought, feeling, and cognition formed from biological and environmental factors that propel a person's behavior in society. Personality traits have been shown to affect individual outcomes such as happiness and subjective well-being, interpersonal outcomes such as familial and romantic relationships, and socio-institutional outcomes like occupational choice and performance. Many models have been developed over the years to ascertain an individual's personality, such as the Big 5 Personality Model, VIA classification, and the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. Personality detection is predominantly done using traditional personality tests, which involve a series of questionnaires and is usually conducted by a qualified psychologist or certified trainers. This vastly limits its applications mostly to clinical psychology, therapeutic counseling, and human resource management as it is not widely accessible. Online platforms used as mediums for personality tests also increases efficiency of test administration. However, further automation of personality recognition will be beneficial in several areas such as recruitment, marketing, and e-commerce recommender systems. The aim of this project is to use machine learning and deep learning techniques for the detection of personalities from textual data. So, the MBTI model was developed to increase the accessibility of Carl Jung's theory of personality to the public. The MBTI assessment involves a series of questionnaires that aim to ascertain one's preference in each of the 4 dichotomies presented in Jung's theory. And the 4 dichotomies are introversion or extraversion, sensing or intuition, thinking or feeling, and judging or perceiving. One's preference in each of these 4 areas described form the grounding basis for their MBTI personality type. The combination of the preferences as indicated by the letter abbreviations form the 16 different MBTI personality types. For this study, we employed an existing dataset obtained from the Personality Cafe forum that contains 8,600 rows of data, each row containing a person's MBTI type and a section of the last 50 things that they have posted on the Personality Cafe forum. The Personality Cafe forum is a discussion platform for personality types and psychology, and users who are interested in personality typing can connect with one another through the forum itself. An example of a data sample in our dataset is shown. After processing, we obtained about 422,845 rows of data samples. For data pre-processing, we removed URLs, emails, punctuations, and numbers. Then, the NLTK corpus package was utilized for the purpose of stop word removals. Empty cells as a result of the data cleaning process, which constituted about 3.3% of our dataset, were also removed. Tokenization of the original text and clean text was also performed for data visualization. While doing the exploratory data analysis, we found out that the dataset was skewed towards certain dimensions. For example, the number of posts made by introverted personalities was 53.6% more than that of extroverted users. The skew in the dataset could potentially mean that the prediction model will overfit to the majority class, making the prediction tool biased towards the prediction of the popular class. As such, we perform random undersampling on the dataset so as to obtain a balanced dataset that will not be biased to any particular class. In this project, we explored 5 different techniques for the purpose of this classification problem, specifically feature engineering, machine learning, neural networks, transfer learning, and ensemble learning. Binary classification of the MBTI dimensions was performed with various machine learning approaches. Experiments were conducted with feature engineering techniques, count vectorization, and TF-IDF respectively to determine which technique will be better for the models. The results concluded that the best models for machine learning are naive-Bayes with TF-IDF and logistic regression with TF-IDF. Binary classification of the MBTI dimensions was also performed with various neural network models. Word embedding techniques were used in the neural network models, and the results concluded that the best model is RNN and CNN with glove word embeddings. Next, we also conducted experiments for the binary classification of the MBTI dimensions with transfer learning techniques. The results concluded that the better model between fine-tuned BERT and distilled BERT is distilled BERT. However, it is also interesting to note that the machine learning techniques perform the best amongst the different techniques. Therefore, we decided to use the machine learning techniques for our next experiment, the stacking ensemble. A stacking model was built for the binary classification model with k-nearest neighbors, logistic regression, and naive Bayes as the base models, and random forest as the meta model. The results showed that the stacking ensemble has generally done better than the machine learning models in predicting the axis of each dimension. It also produces relatively balanced F1 scores to each dichotomy, indicating that the model is able to predict both dichotomies in each dimension well. Next, we utilized the Bayes stacking model for binary classification for our multi-class classification. A total of 4 variations of stacking ensembles were used and compared. Each model is differentiated by the number of stacks and the meta model that is chosen. Models 1 and 3 have only 1 stack, and models 2 and 4 have 2 stacks. Models 1 and 2 use the random forest model as its meta model, while models 3 and 4 use XGBoost as its meta model. Ultimately, the best performing stacking model is the stacking ensemble 4, which obtained an accuracy of 16.97% and an F1 score of 0.17. Although the model's accuracy is not very high, it produced relatively balanced F1 scores for each MBTI type. To sum this all up, I have 3 takeaways from this project. For binary classification, we have seen that the machine learning models perform better than deep learning models. This may be due to the presence of short text within the dataset, which does not contain much semantic information for our models to learn from. For multi-class classification, our stacking ensemble models perform relatively well. And lastly, for future work, we can explore new deep learning techniques such as GPT-3 or Roberta for personality prediction and work on obtaining datasets that are not from social media sites, as these sites often contain short text and/or microtext that may not aid with our prediction models. Thank you.